Hello guys and welcome back to another round of racing with me boy Vexed and the Midnight Oil Racing League. So this is obviously round 2, we're at Lago Maggiore. We're going to have a quick look at the grid. So Wayne G lines up on pole with Thomas there in second place. We've got Ice Chan in third, Blood Diamond in fourth, Dan Bailey starts in fifth, Mawson in sixth, Vexed in seventh, we've got Pickle in eighth, Asbo in ninth and Clutch in 10th. So without further ado, let's get into this first race of the evening. Lights are out, the klaxon sounded, they are off. Wayne G getting a really good getaway there, not losing the start off, not losing the lead off the start. In fact, a lot of Ice Chan trying to sweep around the outside of Thomas there, side by side through turn 2. Ice Chan just getting shuffled out a little bit wide. Dan Bailey almost being allowed to come through there. Then we have Mawson not far behind as well. Blood Diamond and Clutch having a bit of a battle through 3, 4. In fact, Clutch actually managing to make his way through. I think we've got Vex trying to come through the order as well, trying to make up a couple of positions, looking for the move on Asbo, or looking for the move on Blood Diamond. Asbo not far behind him now as well. Pickle just at the back of the field at the moment. So Wayne G starting to break away from the pack now. Thomas needs to try and stick with him. So are they on different tyres? And they're both on medium tyres for this first race, for the first stint. Obviously there is a mandatory pit stop in both races. Ice Chan still there in third. Dan Bailey still being chased down by Mawson. Mawson looking for the move now into Big Banky Boy. Dan Bailey managing to get on the brakes later. Mawson almost going a little bit deep there, may have been running the risk of picking up half a second's penalty. He's got Blood Diamond to contend with now. Blood Diamond all over his rear. I think at the start of the season I said this was official season 1, but in the test season or season 1, Blood Diamond did actually take the win there. So Blood Diamond currently champion, or currently championship leader, or he won the last championship anyway. So Asbo having a bit of a better outing this time round. He was a little bit shaky around the Yas Marina. Managed to get his head back in it. Staying ahead of Clutch and Pickle for the meantime. So Thomas has finally caught up to Wayne G in the Mazda RX Vision. Again, another very high tyre wear track. It's going to be interesting to see how everybody fares with the tyre wear. I think we saw Wayne G take the lead early on around Yas Marina in one of the races, and then having a moment at the final turn and lost a few positions. I think Ice Chan managed to do the double. Blood having a massive moment there, still managing to stick with Blood Diamond. Mawson had a big twitch in the background there as well. Vexed has finally managed to catch up to Dan Bailey. Not anywhere for Vex to go at the moment. He's not going to be able to send the move down through these last few turns. So Dan Bailey's just got to keep the race in line. And that is going to not allow Vex to be able to come through. Vex looking for a move on the inside here. But Dan Bailey just later on the brakes. Asbo in the BRZ. On mediums as well. I think everybody looking like they're on the mediums in this first stint in the first race. Look through, so yeah. Oh, so Chand actually on racing hards. He opted for the racing hards in the first stint. Blood Diamonds on mediums. We've got Moulson on mediums. Dan Bailey on racing hards. Still being chased down by Vexed, who's on the mediums. Dan Bailey had a decent round last week, didn't he? Just managed to keep his nose clean, didn't get caught up in any shenanigans, brought him some decent results. So what can he do here this evening? Currently a little way back from Moulson, up ahead in full GT. Somehow the top two managing to gap the rest of the field quite considerably. Thomas is a couple of seconds up the road from third place. Chan now still chasing down Wayne G. He's going to be picking up the slipstream of that Mazda. Well, at the moment a little bit of a procession, not really any moves being made, nobody putting a foot wrong as yet and allowing anyone to get a move done. Wayne G put in a purple sector. He's actually got a fastest lap on lap 2. Nobody has beaten that yet. It's a 1:58.161. I'd be interested to see what Thomas could do. Is he going to opt for the undercut? Maybe try and dip into the pits before Wayne G. I think the undercut is quite strong around here. As I say, very high tyre wear as well, so I don't think they're going to be wanting to run them mediums for a super long time. Chand, however, is going to get the overcut, isn't he? Because he's on the hards. So he should be able to saw past the top two once they do serve their pit stop. But the guys behind him on mediums still unable to find their way past Chand. So Chand in a very good car, obviously this season, also still maintaining some top pace. I think he's definitely been putting the practice in. I think we have seen him host a few practice lobbies throughout the week. Doing really well at the moment to keep the Ferrari and the Ford behind him. To be fair, they look like they're struggling to close onto the rear of him. Dan Bailey still under the attention of Vext, but Vext has dropped a little bit off the back of him now. A few temps. Maybe suffering with a little bit of tyre wear. So let's have a look at the back runner. So Pickle has managed to get past Clutch. I don't know if Clutch has had a moment somewhere. We didn't see that move happen. He has dropped a little way off though, so I've got a funny feeling he might have had a slide somewhere. Pickle is looking a little bit racy here. He's onto the back of Asbo now. Is he going to be able to get a move done on Asbo? I don't think I'm going to see it come through the S's. Maybe on the approach to Big Banky Boy if he keeps it close enough. And I don't think he's going to be close enough. Will he be later on the brakes? Pickle in the GR Supra. And he's really starting to pressure Asbo now, looking for the move into this sweeping left-hander, which will turn into Asbo's corner for the right-hander. Asbo having Pickle, sorry, having to stay very deep there. That's allowed Asbo to come back through. I wonder if Pickle's starting to find that his tyres are just starting to lose a little bit of grip now. But Asbo doing well to keep that BLZ there in 8th place. He needs to close that gap to Vex though. It is quite sizable, so we've got our first pit stop. We've got Blood Diamond into the pits. He's going for the undercut. Thomas has closed up onto the back of Wayne G once again. Wayne G still with the fastest lap. Almost putting in consistent 158. His lap 5 was a 159. Through the centre S is for the 6th time in this 25-minute race. We're only just over 10 minutes in. Just over 11 minutes in now. And Thomas does still be looking to try and reel Wayne G in. He was close before, wasn't he? He needs to try and close that gap once again. Maybe the dirty, big twitch there. Could be the dirty, yeah, hampering him somewhat. Still not seeing too many moves being made though. In fact, Pickle has managed to get past Asbo once again through Big Banky Boy. It looks like Asbo may be getting the better exit though. Oh, and they are both swapping positions once again. Pickle manages to move ahead. Asbo right on the back of him though, in the BLZ. Thomas is now into the pits. I said that. I wondered if Thomas was going to go for the undercut. Willie G stayed out, favoured track position. He'll surely be pitting the next lap or two. There goes Ice Chand up into 2nd place on them hards. And Mawson up into 3rd. So is that Pickle into the pits now? So yeah, Pickle is now into the pits. Vexter stayed out. He's just been done by Thomas coming out of the pits, which has actually cost him a 10th or 2 there. Went a little bit deep there into turn 1, turn 2 even. A sharp right-hander. Thomas out on a fresh set of hards. I think those on the mediums are definitely going to be starting to feel the effects of the tyre wear. So Wayne G still out in 1st place, and look at that gap he's got over Ice Chand. It's got to be a couple of seconds. And Ice Chand has managed to stretch the gap over Mawson as well. Mawson doing well to hold on to that 3rd place for a minute, but he's still yet to pit. Where will he come out after he pits? And Thomas has got past Dan Bailey. What can Dan Bailey do? Can he stick with Thomas? Thomas on a fresh set of hards, Dan Bailey on the worn hard compound tyre. So Wayne G now into the pits. I wonder if I can trigger all the rest of the medium runners into the pits. Ice Chand follows, as does Mawson. Oh, and Dan Bailey stayed out. So Thomas will become new race leader. There he goes. Or is Wayne G come out the pits ahead of him? There is Wayne G comes out just between Thomas and Dan Bailey. Oh, massive twitch there from Wayne G. On the cold hards. Thomas's are going to be up to temperature, but they're a lap older. Vexed was into the pits. I think he's out once again. Comes up behind Mawson. Mawson's out in 6th place. Asbo favours track position up to 5th. Looks like Dan Bailey trying to have a look around the outside there of Wayne G. Gets it done. Up into 2nd place. Still yet to pit. Actually pulled a couple of attempts over Wayne G as well. So Wayne G struggling to get the heat in them tyres at the moment. So he's going to start reeling them back in once he has got them up to temperature. Chand on a fresh set of mediums. What can he do on them mediums? To the hards in the first stint, so he's now on the faster compound. And Asbo on some very heavily worn medium tyres. Will he pit this time round? Surely he's got to be into the pits. He's got Mawson bearing down on him. And Mawson is looking very racy indeed on that fresh set of hards. So Dan Bailey is into the pits. Is Asbo going to go in? Yeah, Asbo does swing into the pits now. That releases Mawson up into 5th. He should surely come past Dan Bailey as well. There we go, up into 4th place for Mawson. And where is Vex going to... So Dan Bailey just coming out the pits now. Vexed right onto the bumper of the Subaru WRX. But he is now on racing softs. Maybe that's a strategic error there from Vexed. Are them softs going to go the distance? They've definitely got plenty of grip at the moment, but look, well, they're definitely a little bit worn as well. You can see they are... I think he's only done a lap on them and they look a little bit worse for wear already. I think he should have gone onto the hards there. Managing to give Dan Bailey a run for his money at the moment, but if he doesn't manage to get past, I think it's going to cost him. Where's Blood Diamond? Blood Diamond in 7th place, but there is quite a bit of a gap up to 6th place Vexed. He's on a few laps old racing hards now. Is he going to take them to the end of the race, or will we see him go in for another set of tyres? Slowly approaching the 20-minute mark. It's a 25-minute race, 2 25-minute races this evening. So Pickle was looking quite racy. He was onto the back of Blood Diamond, but has dropped a couple of attempts. Clutch now back into 9th, but on a very worn set of racing softs. He's surely going to have to pit one more time. I think he's already used the mediums as well, so he's going to have to go onto the hards. Asbo on a set of softs as well. Asbo potentially looking for a move into turn 1. Wasn't alongside though, so he's had to sit behind. Clutch with a big moment on the exit. Keeps it ahead into 2. Asbo almost alongside through 3. Oh, big moment again from Clutch. And they're both gaining on Pickle now as well, so are they going to be able to pass Pickle on the hards? See Blood Diamond just up the road there as well. Both cars closing up to Pickle once again. They've definitely eaten a couple of attempts into that gap. Asbo still unable to find his way past Clutch. And Clutch will surely be looking to get rid of them softs. As they start to come towards the end of their shelf life. Oh, and he's gone a little bit deeper. I don't know if there was a tiny bit of contact between him and Asbo. Oh, he's sent spinning. Asbo moves up into 9th. And he has slowed down. But that has lost him some time now to Pickle. Clutch is into the pits to get rid of them softs. Pickle with a nice bit of breathing space over Asbo now. Just needs to focus on Blood Diamond ahead. Blood Diamond there in 7th place. Still with a couple of seconds to Vexed ahead. Who has also lost a few attempts now to Dan Bailey on the younger medium compound tyre. And Mawson has got past, or has got passed by Wayne G. Wayne G has managed to find his way past Mawson, unless Mawson's had a moment somewhere. He has lost a fair bit of time there as well, so I think maybe he has a bit of a moment. We didn't see. Wayne G has caught onto the back of Ice Chand. He's only a few attempts back now, probably around 7 or 8 attempts from the Lamborghini. And then Thomas out in the front on the hards. So in fact no, Ice Chand has managed to get past Wayne G, hasn't he? Actually takes the fastest lap on lap 9, 1:57.764. Thomas may be looking good for it at the moment. We've only got just under 3 minutes left in this first race. Is Ice Chand going to be able to close up onto him? Maybe challenge for the win. He's set in purple sectors, so he has got a lot of pace still left in that car. And Wayne G looked like he'd started closing up, but I think he's actually losing a little bit of time on the hards. Mawson on the hards, now starting to come under threat from Dan Bailey. Dan Bailey is starting to close that gap on the mediums. Will he be able to close up before the end of the race? Vex sat in no man's land now in 5th place on a very worn set of softs. I think he's looking to get them to the end of the race, but he's going to have his work cut out. It's like he's starting to suffer with some understeer already. That front left is almost about to leave the chat. It's hanging on by a thread. Oh, it's gone. Yeah, it's gone. And there we go. We see him graze the barrier. So is Blood Diamond going to be able to catch Vexed? Coming in 7th. He went for the very early pit stop, didn't he? He went to try and do the undercut. I'm not sure how many positions he thought he was going to make up, but currently up to 7th. And it looks like he may be able to takes 6th place away from Vexed. Vexed looking very slow now on the track map. And yeah, you can see Blood Diamond coming into the shot now. This will surely be the final lap for most of the drivers. Pickle manages to make it through. Asbo, so Clutch. This might be the final lap here for Clutch as he rounds the final turn. So he's going to finish in 10th place. There we go, Clutch finishing in 10th. So where are the battles currently? Dan Bailey still chasing down Mawson. I think Mawson maybe has just enough of a gap. But Dan Bailey does look racy in that WRX. On both Blood Diamond and Pickle have managed to get past Vex. So Vex down to 8th place now. Look at his tyres. His tyres are absolutely shot. Asbo's are on the way there as well. So Thomas comes around the final turn. He's done just enough in this first race to go and take the win. And he's going to take a checker flag here. GG Thomas. Ice Chan takes 2nd place. Wayne G 3rd step on the podium. So is Mawson going to be able to keep Dan Bailey at bay? I think he is just enough ahead. Dan Bailey looked ever so racy in that final stint, but Mawson will take 4th place. Dan Bailey finishes in 5th. Blood Diamond. Blood Diamond takes 6th. Pickle 7th. Vex limping around the final turn. He's got nothing left. Finishes in 8th place. And Asbo's fronts are completely gone. Still a little bit of rubber left on the rears. He's going to come home in 9th place, and obviously we had Clutch in 10th. That was the first race, guys. I'll be back soon with the second race. See you there.